He was the CEO's son who swore never to love a woman again, until he met a poor kitchen girl his heart called Mom. What happened next will break your heart, heal your soul, and change the way you see love forever. Watch till the end for the unbelievable twist, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more life-changing emotional stories. Heartbreak. Ryan Alexander Knight, the only heir to the multi-billion-dollar Knight Corporation, grew up with everything money could buy, but not with what his heart needed most: love. After his mother abandoned him at 6, running away with another man and leaving his father broken, Ryan's heart hardened toward all women. He believed every woman was a liar, a manipulator, a gold digger chasing his father's wealth. The pain ran deep. His mother's betrayal echoed in every heartbeat, her absence poisoning every relationship he tried to form. By 25, Ryan had become cold, arrogant, and emotionally untouchable. He lived in a mansion full of servants but trusted no one, not even his father, Daniel Knight, the feared yet respected CEO who buried his emotions under layers of work and power. Daniel had watched his son grow into a mirror image of himself, successful but soulless, wealthy but wounded. Everything changed the day a new girl was hired in their mansion's kitchen: Emma Brooks, a 22-year-old orphan who had recently lost her adoptive mother to illness and desperately needed a job to pay for her younger brother's education. She was humble, soft-spoken, and carried a quiet sadness in her eyes that no one noticed, except the youngest heart in the mansion, Daniel's 6-year-old grandson, Liam. Liam was Ryan's son, born from a marriage that had fallen apart in bitterness. His mother had left shortly after his birth, repeating the same cycle of abandonment that cursed the Knight family for generations. The boy rarely spoke, feared strangers, and refused to call anyone Mom, no matter how many nannies or housekeepers Daniel hired. But the moment Emma stepped into the kitchen, something strange happened. Liam, shy and distant, ran to her, wrapped his tiny arms around her legs, and whispered one word that shocked everyone: Mom. The entire mansion froze. Emma's eyes filled with tears, trembling as if she had heard that word after decades of longing. Ryan, standing nearby, clenched his jaw and barked, "Get that woman out of here." But Liam screamed and cried, refusing to let go of Emma. The boy who hadn't spoken in months was now begging his father not to take his mom away. Daniel, sensing something divine in that moment, stopped Ryan and ordered Emma to stay. From that day forward, Emma became part of the household, not just as a kitchen worker but as someone who brought warmth to the cold halls of the Knight mansion. Liam followed her everywhere, during meals, bedtime stories, even while she washed dishes. Her voice calmed him, her touch healed him, and her lullabies soothed the nightmares that no doctor could cure. Everyone began to notice that even the mansion itself felt alive again. Flowers bloomed, laughter returned, and even Daniel started smiling. But Ryan's hatred only grew. He couldn't stand seeing his son so attached to a servant, especially a woman. He tried firing her multiple times, but each time, Liam would fall sick, lose sleep, or refuse to eat. Desperate, Ryan confronted Emma one night in the kitchen, accusing her of manipulation. "You're using my son to climb into our lives," he spat bitterly, eyes blazing. Emma looked up from the dishes, her hands trembling but her voice calm. "Sir, I don't want your money. I only want your son to smile again. Isn't that what a mother should want?" That simple question shattered something inside Ryan. For the first time, he saw her not as a servant, but as a woman carrying wounds deeper than his own. Days turned into weeks, and slowly, Ryan began noticing her small acts of kindness, not just toward Liam, but toward everyone. She baked bread for the guards, mended the maids' uniforms, and even left fresh flowers on Daniel's late wife's portrait. She asked for nothing but gave everything. One night, Daniel fell ill, collapsing during a storm. Emma stayed by his side, nursing him through the night, refusing to sleep. When the doctor arrived, he told Ryan that if it weren't for Emma's care, his father might not have survived the night. Gratitude began to replace Ryan's anger, but pride stopped him from admitting it. The next morning, he found a small handmade lunchbox on his office desk with a note: "For when the world feels heavy, E." He didn't know how she'd gotten into his office, but when he opened it, the smell reminded him of something he hadn't felt in decades: home. As months passed, Ryan began to change. He found himself drawn to Emma's presence, her laughter, her selflessness. He started coming home earlier, just to see her playing with Liam in the garden. But every time he got too close, something stopped him: fear. He was terrified of loving another woman who might leave, terrified of history repeating itself. Daniel, noticing his son's struggle, called him to his study one night and said, "Ryan, some people aren't sent to stay forever, they're sent to heal us. Don't drive her away like I drove your mother away." Those words haunted Ryan for days. Meanwhile, something darker was unfolding. Someone in the mansion began spreading rumors about Emma stealing money from the CEO's private accounts. The security team found fake transactions under her name. Ryan exploded, believing his worst fear had come true. In front of the entire staff, he humiliated Emma, accusing her of betrayal and calling her just another liar. She tried to explain, tears streaming down her face, but he wouldn't listen. Liam screamed, begging his father to stop, but Ryan ordered the guards to throw her out. That night, lightning struck, and the mansion's warmth died again. 3 days later, Ryan discovered something horrifying. The real culprit was his ex-wife, Charlotte, who had secretly returned to the city. She had hacked the accounts to frame Emma, hoping to regain custody of Liam and destroy Ryan's peace. When Ryan realized the truth, he broke down for the first time in years. He searched everywhere for Emma, but she had vanished. Days turned into weeks. Liam fell sick again, this time worse than before. He refused to eat, speak, or smile. The doctors said his condition was psychological. His heart had given up. Desperate, Ryan searched every orphanage and shelter in the city until one stormy night he found her, working at a small bakery, pale and exhausted. When he saw her, he fell to his knees in front of everyone, crying like a child. "I was wrong," he said. "I let my past destroy the only person who brought my son back to life." Emma stared at him, speechless, but when she heard that Liam was dying, she ran to the hospital without hesitation. The moment Liam saw her, he smiled faintly and whispered, "Mom came back." His heartbeat stabilized instantly, as if her presence alone revived him. After that night, everything changed. Ryan asked her to come home, not as a servant, but as part of the family. But Emma hesitated. She confessed a secret she had hidden for years. "I wasn't just drawn to Liam. I once knew this house." Confused, Ryan pressed her to explain. With trembling hands, she pulled out an old photograph of Daniel and his late wife holding a baby girl. "That's me," she said softly. "I'm the daughter your father thought died in that fire 20 years ago." Ryan was stunned. Daniel, upon hearing it, rushed in disbelief, and when he saw the scar on her shoulder, he broke down. It was the same birthmark his daughter had. The truth spilled out. During a fire that destroyed one of their orphanage projects years ago, Daniel's real daughter had gone missing. The staff presumed she had died, but she was rescued by a poor woman who raised her as her own, naming her Emma. The woman had died protecting her identity to keep her safe from those who had tried to harm the Knight family during a corporate feud. Emma had grown up never knowing her true lineage, until fate brought her back home through Liam's innocent heart. The revelation shattered everyone. Daniel wept as he hugged his long-lost daughter, thanking God for the miracle. Ryan was speechless. He realized that the woman he had accused, hated, and almost loved was actually his sister. But fate wasn't done with its twists. Days later, new evidence emerged. The woman who had rescued Emma wasn't just a random stranger. She was Ryan's biological mother's sister, who had taken Emma to protect her from enemies who wanted revenge against the Knights. The same enemies had caused the fire. This meant Ryan and Emma were not blood-related at all. Emma had been adopted into the Knight family as a baby, while Ryan was born years later to Daniel's second wife. The misunderstanding had lasted decades. Relief washed over them all like divine forgiveness. Months passed, and love bloomed again, not the kind born of desire, but of destiny. Ryan finally confessed his love to Emma, not because of guilt or loneliness, but because she had become the light that his broken soul had been searching for all along. Emma, too, had loved him silently, even when he hurt her. Daniel blessed their union with tears of joy, and Liam, healthier, happier, and free of nightmares, walked Emma down the aisle as Mom. The mansion that once echoed with pain was now filled with laughter, forgiveness, and love reborn. At the wedding, Ryan whispered in Emma's ear, you didn't just heal my son, you healed generations of broken hearts. She smiled, replying, love was always waiting here, Ryan. We just had to stop running from it. As fireworks lit the night sky above the night estate, Daniel raised a toast to miracles, second chances, and the mysterious ways fate brings lost souls home. And so, the story of hatred turned into healing, of betrayal into blessing, and of a boy's innocent word, Mom, into a miracle that changed 3 lives forever. Because sometimes, God doesn't send angels with wings, He sends them wearing aprons, holding a spoon, and carrying the warmth of love into the coldest hearts.